Have you ever said yes and instantly regretted it? You smiled, you nodded, maybe even added a, of course. But inside your stomach knotted itself. You felt the stress, the resentment, the overwhelm. You knew you didn't want to do it. You knew you didn't have the capacity. But still, you said yes. Why is it so hard to just say no? In this video, I'm going to show you exactly how to say no. Clearly, kindly, and without guilt. While actually building respect, not breaking it. This is about learning to protect your space and peace without pushing people away. Hi there, I'm Letitia, and welcome back to my channel. I'm a communication and public speaking coach and founder of Lumia, where we help professionals, speakers, and leaders reclaim their voice and speak with clarity, presence, and courage. In short, I'm here to help you become a better communicator. And if you've ever found yourself stuck in people-pleasing mode, overcommitting, over-apologizing, or drowning in guilt every time you try to set a boundary, you're so not alone. And you're so definitely in the right place. In this video, I'm going to walk you through 4 powerful strategies that will change the way you say no forever. You'll learn why guilt hijacks your voice and how to take it back. One of the tools I give my students for setting strong boundaries. The one simple phrase that instantly gives you time to breathe. And what to do when someone doesn't take your no well. If you're ready, I'm ready. Let's do this. Let's start with the real reason we struggle to say no. And no, it's not just being too nice. According to Dr. Gaber Mate, there's a deep conflict between 2 human needs. The need for attachment, to be loved, accepted, and safe, and the need for authenticity, to be true to ourselves and to express what we really think and feel. As children, when those 2 needs come into conflict, for example, if expressing anger or sadness risks disconnection, we choose attachment every time. Why? Because our survival depends on it. We are social animals. We live in groups. It's not for nothing that in ancient Greece, they gave them the choice between death and exile. And you know what they chose almost every time? Yep, you're right. Death. Because belonging is one of our strongest, deepest core needs. We want and we need to belong. It's in our DNA. But here's the catch. That pattern will not disappear even if we tried our hardest. It lives in our nervous system. It's in our brains, in our blood, in our guts. So when someone asks something of us and we want to say no, our body reacts as if we're risking rejection, abandonment, or even worse, death. And that's when guilt steps in. The good news? You're not broken. You're just human. Congratulations. And the even better news? As an adult, you now have a choice. So let's make that choice easier with the right words and the right tools. Let's talk about how to say no without over-explaining, over-apologizing, or losing sleep. This is a tool I love and I teach all of my students. Clear, concise, kind, and courageous. I heard the first 3, clear, concise, and kind, from the therapist Julia Christina, and I've added one of my own beloved and revered values, courage. Because yes, it takes courage to stand in your truth. Courage stands on the other side of vulnerability, and that is also where your authenticity is. It's where the most beautiful things happen, and that's what we're going to tap into. Let's break this framework down, shall we? Clear means stop saying maybe when you mean no. Say what you mean and mean what you say. It's not rude, it's respectful to both you and the person that you're talking to. Concise means no essays, no emotional sob stories. You don't have to justify yourself. You're allowed to say, thank you so much for thinking of me, and not able to take that on right now. Or, I've got a full plate, so I'll have to pass. Or just even, no, I'm not available, sorry, but I appreciate your asking. And kind? It costs nothing, and it's one of the most beautiful gifts in the world. Free and beautiful. Isn't that wonderful? Saying no with warmth, with grace, with gratitude, with openness is a gift. Now, I think courageous is the one we need most today. Courage doesn't mean never feeling guilty. It means choosing alignment over approval. It means choosing what's hard over what's easy, choosing truth over lies, choosing what is right over silence. That's integrity. Choosing courage over comfort. Remember, When you say yes but mean no, you're not being generous. You're not being integral. You're lying. You're betraying yourself. And eventually, that shows up as resentment, burnout, or bitterness in yourself. And that's a shame, wouldn't you say, to live like that? What a shame. So, say what you mean. Say it clearly, say it kindly, and stand tall in it. If this is resonating with you, make sure you hit that subscribe button. I post every week to help you enhance your communication, to help you speak with more clarity, confidence, and emotional intelligence. And tell me in the comments, when is saying no the hardest for you? I'd love to hear. Here's a secret most people never use. You don't have to answer on the spot. In fact, I highly recommend that you don't. We've all been in a situation where someone says something to us and for some reason we panic. Everything drops and we blah something. In fact, it happened to me not long ago in the supermarket. I was paying at the till when the lady said, "And Mr. never comes?" I don't know what happened. Even with all my training and expertise, everything shut down and I muttered as a stupid response. I can't even remember. It's something like, "Well, yeah, but he went to another supermarket earlier today, but he does do the groceries." I felt terrible. I hated myself for having let someone put me in a position where I had to justify myself. I should have put in place one of my many strategies I give to my students, and yet I got caught up in the moment. See, communication is everywhere, and we always have an opportunity to practice, and we don't get it right every time, but the most important thing is to try. In this situation, I could have said many things. I could have said, "I beg your pardon," which makes her rephrase, and often people realize that they've crossed the line immediately. In this case, she would have been in the situation of discomfort of justifying herself for a harsh comment on my private life. Or something like, "How about yours?" Which, without answering the question, throws it right back at her, once again thinking twice about her comment, realizing that it probably wasn't such a nice thing to say. And these are just two ways of dealing with these abrupt moments, but more on that in another video. The key here is this: you don't have to answer on the spot. If someone asks you something and you're not sure, or you get that gush feeling of falling, your body is signaling that you're in danger, so there must be a reason for it. Just say, "I'm not quite sure what to tell you right now. Let me get back to you on this." That's it. This one sentence buys you time, protects your nervous system, and gives you space to check in with yourself. And when you do get back to them, you'll have had time to think about your response calmly, and you will feel so much better about it. Matt Abrahams, a Stanford lecturer in communication, teaches that just a few seconds of pause increases your cognitive flexibility and reduces reactive language. So instead of giving a panicked yes, you get to respond, not react. Use phrases like this: "Let me check my schedule and get back to you." "I'll need a moment to think this through. I'll follow up later today." Don't let urgency override your intuition. Most requests aren't emergencies. Give yourself the grace of pause. Now, what happens when you do say no and the other person doesn't take it well? Maybe they're upset, maybe they guilt trip you, maybe they say you've changed. This is where the real courage kicks in. Dr. Gabor Mate said this beautifully: "If you want to be liked, please everyone, but no one will love you because they don't know you." I'll say that again. If you want to be liked, please everyone, but no one will love you because they don't know you. People-pleasing might get you approval, but it blocks intimacy. Because the version of you that never says no is not the full you. So when someone reacts badly to your boundary, remind yourself, their disappointment is not your disrespect. You are not responsible for their feelings. You are responsible for your truth, for what you say, not the way they react to it. And if you need to say something extra, try this. I understand this might be frustrating, and I want you to know it's not personal. I'm just being honest about what I can take on right now, for me. Kind, clear, courageous, you. The real you. How beautiful is that? If you want a full video on how to stop being a people pleaser, let me know in the comments below, and I'll make sure to make a video about that in the future. So, let's recap. Today, you've learned how to say no without guilt, without fear, and without pushing people away. And I would like to leave you with this. As a child, you may have had no choice but to say yes, to trade your voice for acceptance. But as an adult, you get to choose differently. You can choose connection and authenticity. You can say no and still be kind. And when you do, the right people will not leave. They'll lean in, and they will be your people. You will have found them. All of that by saying no, my friend. If you want to go further in your communication journey, watch the video that appears on your screen next. If you want guiding documents, have a look at the documents that I've dropped in the description below to find your free communications guides. And if you're serious about improving your communication, reclaiming your voice, and becoming a more confident, powerful speaker, subscribe to this channel. We're building a community of people who are doing exactly that, speaking and living with courage, authenticity, and kindness. Thank you for being here, and thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video, my friend. And until then, as always, follow your passion and speak up.